Stop failing here. Last week, I released a GM guide covering the Mars Battlegrounds Grandmaster, and it's awesome to see you guys conquering this challenge. With that said, I've also seen dozens of comments regarding how difficult this boss room is and how tough it can be to clear this type of Grandmaster with LFG. The boss is fast, extremely aggressive, and if not managed properly, can send your team back to orbit in a matter of seconds. So today, we'll be covering the most effective ways to control the chaos in the Mars Battlegrounds boss room. I'm Above, and if you enjoyed today's video, a like and subscription would be greatly appreciated. Now, let's get into it. As I mentioned in last week's guide, the key to this encounter is maintaining boss aggro. You'll have one person baiting the boss while your teammates focus on ad clear. Where most people struggle is successfully baiting the boss without dying, because when they die, the encounter can quickly spiral out of control. So here are a few ways you can safely do this, which will help you get your clears this week. The most popular choice at the moment is the cheese spot at the back left-hand side of the arena. Though this spot is incredibly safe and can be extremely useful at times, it also completely isolates you from your teammates and prevents you from helping them in any other capacity. Yeah, Invis Hunters can maintain boss aggro, but if your teammates die, it's difficult to get out of this spot and successfully grab a res. And if this happens in the first half of the fight, the run's pretty much chalked. As I noted in my guide, I prefer to bait the boss near the back of the room, while my teammates focus on holding down ad spawns. With this strategy, you can easily maintain boss aggro, and if an ad makes it to the middle platform, I can use my heavy to quickly kill it in between baiting the boss. This may sound difficult, but trust me, I have several strategies that can make this much easier than you'd think. First up, we have a Weld Warlock using Icarus Dash. Baiting the boss towards you and jumping over its head is a great way to safely maintain aggro. This method is all about spacing, so when you see the boss pushing towards you, get a running start and fully commit to jumping over Kel'Garath. Icarus Dash makes this much safer as it gives you additional distance from the boss's AoE slam attack. With that said, if you jump directly over the boss's head, there's a chance that the slam attack will still impact you. Many AoE attacks in Destiny are coded to not only have a horizontal hitbox, but a vertical hitbox as well. If you've ever burned out to a Void Scorn Grenade when 10 feet off the ground, well, now you know why. The same can be said for Kel'Garath's slam attack. If you jump directly over the boss's head, the vertical hitbox can still hit you, which can obviously ruin your runs. But an easy way to avoid this is actually jumping over the boss's right shoulder. Since the vertical hitbox is quite narrow and the boss holds its weapon in the right hand, this prevents the AoE slam attack from damaging you, which makes this an extremely safe strategy. If you're not comfortable with the first method, glaive blocking can actually deflect 100% of the boss's damage if done correctly. Start by using the ranged attack on the boss to gain blocking energy, and when the boss gets ready to slam, simply block and deflect the damage. The only caveat to this is the fact that you need the boss to slam in front of you, so spacing is key with this strategy. If the boss slams too close to you, the axe will actually land behind the glaive shield and kill you through the block. Now you obviously have to give up a weapon slot to run a glaive, but since machine guns are basically our primary weapons in this Grandmaster, it shouldn't hinder you all that much. Vexcalibur makes this strategy even more viable as the block grants you an overshield for additional survivability. And last but not least, we have Strand subclasses. Though you can't suspend Kel'Garath, you can use shackle grenades and other forms of suspend to momentarily stunlock the boss. As you can see here, when the shackle grenade is applied, it fails to suspend him, but when it detonates, it causes Kel'Garath to stagger and often triggers the boss's disappearing act. You'll need to bait the boss using the same method as we discussed before, but this buys you a ton of additional time and breathing room when you need it. It also allows your team to assign warlocks to ad clear, which can make it much easier for your teammates to survive. The final tip today surrounds baking the boss during phase 2. When the boss reaches around 20% health, you can have one of your warlocks pop a well at your Strand player's feet, which allows them to use their super to bake the rest of the boss's health bar. The combination of super damage resist and the Well of Radiance damage resist allows them to tank multiple boss slams, which means you can safely use that super to safely kill the boss. Well guys, that that concludes the tips for today's video. It's a shorter one, but I wanted to provide additional guidance to those of you struggling with this boss room. If you guys enjoyed, a like and subscription would be greatly appreciated, and I'll have a link to my full guide down in the description below. Anyways, that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Peace!